Risk management and mindset are probably the two most important things when it comes to trading, besides, of course, knowing how to trade and how to read a chart. But when you start trading and when you trade, you have to give these topics attention. You have to make sure that they're both in check. Because in the trading game, nothing is more important than using strict risk management and having your emotions in check. Risk management is always important because it makes sure that you can preserve your capital. And like I always say, it's capital preservation over profits. You have to make sure you have the right mindset, you have your emotions in check. Because if you don't have your emotions in check, you will make mistakes. You will chase losses. You will put on more margin and eventually abandon your risk management. So in the end, you will lose. So the start of a trading journey usually looks something like this. You discover that you can make money with trading. You're skeptical at first, but then you try it because you're in a Discord like ours. You follow the lead of some good traders. You follow signals. You see how easy it can be to make money. And then you start to put in some work and you start trading on your own. You start charting on your own and following up on your own calls. And sometimes you would even skip the part of following the pros and just get right to trading yourself. And even though it seems easy, there isn't easy in trading without the hard work done over the years, without the experience, the knowledge that you have to build. And let's not forget all the times every trader fell flat on his face but decided to get back up and work even harder. But as you start out, all this isn't visible. When you start out, you just feel the urge to make money. And most of the times, make money quick. You see other traders making life-changing money and want to do the same. So the first error is that your expectations are probably off. Expecting to make huge amounts of money with small amounts of capital. You want to be where the pro trader is, but don't have a clue about the work that has been put in. So you start looking at charts. You start to understand the basics. And at that point, you feel confident to put on trades to make some money. So now, if you ask me, I think there are two types of people. The ones that start off with trading, get humbled right away, lose money, and come to sense that it isn't as easy as they thought. And then start putting in the works, taking a step back, looking at different approaches, and when they feel confident enough, get back to trading. Then there's the people that start off, usually small, they win a couple of trades. They get overconfident, get the feeling they get the game, and it's really that easy to make money. Then they start putting on more money, and they start putting on more leverage. And if they even thought about risk management, they quickly abandon that and finally end up wrecked. So most of us, when starting our trading journey, we feel the urge to be consistently trading. So when you win, you can't wait to put on the next trade because you want to make more money. But when you lose, you can't wait to put on the next trade because you want to make up for your losses. So when starting your trading journey, you don't see the bigger picture. You are focused on the now moment. Here and now, I want to make money. And I want to make lots of money. And that feeling gets worse when you do win your first couple of trades. And for example, the first day you make your balance grow 5%. Because then you feel invincible. Yeah, man, this is so easy. It can't go wrong. And then you start making calculations. If I start with $250 and I win 5% every day, man, I'll have 6 figures in 4 months. You are getting excited and can't wait for the next trade because you're getting overconfident and you're putting on more until you lose a trade. And then doubt hits. The urge to win it back hits. And then the thought comes to mind. Maybe I'll put some more money on it. That way I'll win more. And I get my profits or my losses back quicker. And especially when you are still in profits overall, the thought comes to mind, well, I'm still in profits, so I can take the risk. That's okay. So at that point, you start to overtrade, you lose your patience, you maybe go lower time frame trading, You don't wait for ideas to play out. You just look at a chart and chase green or red candles, bumps and dumps. And eventually you end up losing even more. You will abandon every rule you made, if you even made rules beforehand, and you abandon your strategy and the gambler's mindset takes over. And at this point, I think you're better off just handing your money over to someone else, because in the end, you will lose. So you shouldn't be focused too much on that now moment, or you shouldn't be focused on that now moment at all. Your mindset should be focused on the long run. So try to avoid thinking things like, well, this next trade, I'm going to win back the loss I just made on the previous trade. Because that kind of thought can easily lead you to chasing losses, putting higher margin and leverage on, and also risking, in that case, more money. Because that's even more the case if that next trade that you thought of winning it back is also a loss. And then you get in that circle that you keep chasing losses and you keep upping up the margin and you keep putting on more margin up and more leverage and end up getting wrecked. So what you should do instead is this: focus on the bigger picture. Take every trade you do as an isolated event. It's not tied in any way to your previous trade, nor is it an indicator for the outcome of trades to come. It's just one trade in the bigger picture. It's just one step in the right direction in finding out if your strategy, your set of rules that you apply consistently work in the long run. And if you have a strategy that has a positive edge over a high number of trades, you don't need to worry about the outcome of one or two trades, because you know that in the end you will be profitable. Keeping an eye on that bigger picture will help you to stay out of the dangers of focusing too much on your losses. Because if you know in the end that your strategy has a 60% win rate, you know that in the end you'll have a positive, profitable outcome. Mindset is crucial if you want to be a consistently profitable trader. Without the right mindset, without having control over your emotions, you will eventually lose in this game. Putting on a winning trade isn't the hard part. The hard part, once you had a couple of winners, is not letting greed take over. Not taking profits on time, knowing when to cut losses, knowing when to stay sidelined. All skills you probably don't have when you start to trade. Skills you have to develop over time. And if you ask me, to work on that mindset, you have to do two things. First thing is that you are willing to look yourself in the eyes, that you are willing to face your fears, and that you are aware of the fact that nobody but you can make this work. The second thing is that you have to build yourself a set of rules that you live by. These rules can consist of how much money you trade, how much risk you're willing to take, how many trades you can be in at any given time, the strategy of your trades, the strategy of taking profits, etc., etc. So about the first, I think there isn't one way of dealing with emotions during trading, but what I find that works for me is not only journal your trades, but also journal your emotions. So how did I feel before, during, or after this trade? What did I think? What did I do? Why did I let this trade hit stop loss? Why didn't I cut this trade early, even though there were so many indicators telling me to cut it? It all comes down to breaking down your thought process. So about the set of rules. These rules are sacred for you as a trader. So no matter what happens, you stick to the rules. If you feel the urge of breaking them, go back to journaling your emotions. Look in the mirror. Why or what happened that I wanted to break my rules? Do not, in any case, alter the rules if by doing that makes it easier to deal with your emotions. You stick to the rules and only change them if there is a practical reason to, because you have advanced as a trader, because your strategy changed over time, but never change rules in favor of your emotions. So, besides having the right mindset, it's crucial to understand the risk management and why that's more important than making profit. In the end, the trading game, especially in a bear market, is about surviving. You will lose. There's not one trader that has a 100% win rate. Losing is part of winning. So embrace the fact that you will lose trades, but make sure that these trades are a calculated risk. So the aim is to keep your losses small and winners bigger. So So if you do so, you can be profitable even with a win rate of 50% or less. Like if you're trading on a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, so let's say your risk is $1, then you win $2, you are still a profitable trader with a win rate of only 40%. You don't have that much profit, but it's just the case of how good risk management works. But then again, you can calculate risk as much as you want, but it goes together with the right mindset. You have to be comfortable losing trades. If you're not, there's no way you are going to stick to the plan and the rules you made. So, if you're getting nervous, seeing red numbers, if you feel angry or frustrated doing trades that are in the red, if you can't let the trade be for what it is, if you feel down after you've lost a trade, there's work to be done. Go back to the journal I told you about earlier. What emotions are in play? Is there something else going on, or is it only the loss that makes you feel like this? Like this? Maybe you're putting in too much money. Maybe you don't have the right expectations. You have to find out what it is that makes you feel that way, and then you have to change that. Also, I think especially for people who just start trading, it's important to focus on the percentages rather than the dollar value. Many times I hear people in the Discord say, I'll keep it open because it's only a small loss. But if you say that, or if you think that, ask yourself this: is it a small loss dollar-wise, or is it a small loss percentage-wise to your balance? Because it can be a small loss dollar-wise, but a big percentage loss. Let's say you're trading with $50 to start practicing. Dollar-wise, maybe 5 doesn't feel as much, so you'll say, yeah, that's a small loss. But percentage-wise, this is 10% of your balance. So you always have to make sure that your risk is based on the percentage of your balance. No matter how big or how small your balance is, you should never abandon this. Because if you're trading with $50 now, and you don't stick to that 3% or 2% or 5% we say, you won't do that when you're trading with $1,000 or $10,000. All big traders, they don't risk more than 1, maybe 0.5% per trade. The higher you get, the lower the percentage you risk. So make sure to have risk in check, deal with your emotions, and deal with your demons. I used to be a problem gambler. So when I first started trading, which is a little under 2 years ago, I didn't have rules. I didn't have a strategy. I think I just got lucky the first couple of times, like I sometimes got lucky gambling. But as with the slots I used to play, I lost way more money than I made. And starting out trading, being stubborn, thinking I could do the same as I would see the pros do, without the hard work put in over the years, that eventually got me wrecked. Not at first, like I said, I hit a couple of winners. I made 4-figure wins without even knowing what the hell I was doing. But it seemed easy. It felt easy. So in my head I would be making 6 figures in a couple of months. But that couldn't be further from the truth. I got humbled, putting on more margin, higher leverage, and not having risk in check. I lost somewhat half of the trading capital I started with, and then my good old friend the gambler knocked on my door again. So I lost the other half going back to the slots. So then I was at a point I lost all the money I had in crypto. I went back to zero from being reckless, not having emotions in check, being stubborn, not listening to other people's advice, and the fact I didn't have the guts to look at myself in the mirror. So yeah, after that I went through a hell of a dark place. But in the end, had the guts to come clean, let it all out, seek help again, look myself in the mirror and battle the demons I thought I fought off a long time ago. And I came back stronger than ever. And this time taking advice from knowledgeable people I had around me, humbling myself, starting from scratch, reading books every day, putting in the work every day. Every spare moment I had, I started reading, learning, teaching myself, be taught by others. And that apart from raising my kids and spending time with the family and working a full-time job. I put in the work to get back to a level, or to get to a level that I was never at before, to get comfortable again, putting on my own trades. And I got there. slowly building back up everything I lost, but this time with a strategy, a set of rules, and my emotions in check. And fast forward half a year later, I have my own corner in the Discord. I'm sharing my signals and my knowledge, and I'm making this kind of videos for you guys and you girls, guiding you to not make the same mistakes I did. So I'm still working a full-time job, but the point of leaving that behind gets closer and closer, and yes, that wouldn't be as fast as it'll probably come now with all the help I got from the friends I have in the Discord, but I can look myself in the mirror and be proud because I was the one putting in the work. So remember, guys and girls, put in the work, be humble, face your fears, be you, and opportunities are limitless.